Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have returned with some more Smite action. We're in our ninth week of the SWC here.
Yeah.
9 weeks in, and just a lot of exciting stuff. And we're getting into the real meat and potatoes of the tournament. We're gonna have our semifinals coming up right now. It's gonna be Team Snipe, not Team Shing, Team Snipe.
That's
versus-
arguable.
I think it was less a slip of the tongue and more of a Freudian slip, but it's going to be Team Snipe versus Cog Red, which that's a matchup that I'm excited for. I feel like these teams are very even.
So I just was reading chat and I saw Wolfie talking about, and I didn't know this, Fenrir's ult apparently, or rather Fenrir's brutalize gets broken by activation of I'm a Monster, and you cannot brutalize her while she's in that form.
That's probably a good thing because it's a free I'm a Monster hit.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Oh, what you doing down there?
Yeah, it's probably a good thing. It's curious because CC break doesn't generally break brutalize.
No, it never does. That's very strange.
Yeah, so
she has, I guess, 3 ways to stop it. She could Sentinel out, she could cripple it with Sikkim, or she could activate I'm a Monster.
Wow. She's very safe against Fenrir, and you might call it well, I guess it's a straight counter. Unfortunately, when Wolfie's playing Fenrir, it's not really much of a counter. It's the player rather than the god thing, as we talked about before. So
it looks like we're in the game here. First pick, first ban opportunity is given to Snipe for higher seed. It looks like that's what they have opted for. Osiris and Aphrodite have both been banned out so far. I still don't like the Afro ban. I don't like it. Not a fan.
Yeah, Afro is... I've never liked the Aphrodite ban, to be honest with you. I've always respected her ability. I don't generally like playing her, but I respect that she's strong. I've just never liked the Aphrodite ban. What happens is as you get into the late game, she just becomes so scary because you just can't kill the people you need to kill because she heals them, she immunes them, etc. Did the teams just get together and decide that they wanted to play with us today? Because right after these bans, we're going to see a first pick Athena.
I must have missed something this week. But, I mean, we can't argue Athena has won every game today so far.
And, Athena's one of my... I think she's very strong, so there's that. But these picks seem to be very standard. We're going to see Ao Kuang and Artemis scooped up very quickly. No real thought process going there for Cognitive Red.
Yeah, well, MLC loves Ao Kuang. MLC is like the premier Ao Kuang right now. This is when you think character, to player, MLC is the first person on my mind when I think Ao Kuang. Although Mace made a pretty good argument last game.
Yeah, Mace doesn't miss those Spirit's Tempests, and that's really what changes you. From a run-of-the-mill Ao Kuang to a wow, look at... We're going to see Ra picked up for Snipe and one of my favorite hunters, Ull. I think that Ull has a lot of...
Oh my lord.
Toolkit. How did that get... Oh, they banned out Ascilla. Okay.
1, 2, 3...
6th pick.
10. It was 10th. The 10th character in this game that was highlighted. They had picked Athena before Kumbhakarna.
Was that
Did I miss a patch?
I think they just forgot.
Is this like the premise to Futurama? Like, have I been asleep for 1,000 years?
We make a neckbeard joke. What year is it? But, this might just be a god that Snipe is comfortable playing against. We saw Dignitas do it I'm exaggerating a small bit. We saw Dig do it for years with Zeus. Zeus was banned 100% for 13 months, and
Close.
Dig just didn't care. They said, look, we know what he does, we're comfortable with it, and we can play around it. This might be Snipe doing the same thing with Kumbhakarna. That is a ridiculously hard thing to say, but it's possible. Teams do excel against different things, despite how uphill it might seem. So I'm not going to judge it just yet because they didn't ban it and they didn't pick it. So I think they're comfortable with it.
So you think about the different top supports in NA, right? You have Shadowq, whose whole goal is, keeping his team alive. Not usually through peels, just with smart rotations, good usage of abilities on an aggressive front. You think Jeff Hindla and his support, mainstay is the fact that his rotations are amazing and then he can steal. You think Pain de Beyond, and you think just blind going for the kills. But when I think on Cognitive Red and I think Ionic, I think just peels. Just
Control.
non-stop control.
Nuwa.
And giving him Kumbhakarna with that mesmerize. Is that a Nuwa?
Yeah. That's how. I mean,
Are they going to cheese it?
I
They're going to
mean-
go. They're going to go for the split push with Nuwa and then Athena ult.
I went on the record a while ago when Snipe won overall, and I like Snipe. I like the guys. I think they play well. Nuwa won that tournament. I don't think Snipe won that tournament. Nuwa won that tournament, and they're just going to try to do it again.
Final up, it looks like we're going to have Nemesis and Fenrir, one of which probably is going to be going solo here. But I want to talk a little bit before we get started about terminology.
Okay.
Now, we use the term broken a lot. It's obviously an over-exaggeration. Now,
Of course.
overpowered, some characters are overpowered. Kumbhakarna, generally considered overpowered. Scylla, pre-patch, was considered overpowered. But they're not broken gods.
No.
When you use the term broken, it means that they generally break the way the game is supposed to be played. Nuwa actually kind of breaks the game because she's the only person that can create minions and do damage to towers with abilities.
Yeah.
He has the ability to split push like no other person in the game because she can also stealth herself through wards on the map to ensure they can't react to it fast enough. She literally breaks the meta, which I think is so interesting. And Kiki is definitely one of the famed Nuwa players. This guy's Nuwa is unbelievably strong, even in a boxing sense. So I'm very excited to see what they're going to do here.
Yeah, Kiki likes to play all sorts of out of the box type situation, and that's what Nuwa does. He's out of the box. She's out of the box, and Kiki just generally likes to play not just gods but strategies that do that sort of thing. And don't be surprised if you see a teleport get picked up. There's a lot of interesting strategies that can be brought here, and we're going to see how they employ them, or if Cognitive Red can shut down that Nuwa with an infinite yawn. So just wait a couple of seconds. We'll see you in just a minute or two. For DM, my name is F. Stay tuned for more Smite action. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your exciting SWC action. We have Snipe versus Cognitive Red, one of the more premier matchups this weekend, as we get to see a nice evenly matched team against another evenly matched team.
So now, Snipe has, and we're going to talk about it again, the ability to split push like no other. Kiki loves this. So
Who doesn't?
We're definitely going to keep track of that. Xing has great gank opportunity with Sonic Boom, Mercury, very hard to track. But then again, we go across the way, and we have Kumbhakarna, we have Snoopy with one of the strongest characters in the game, and Devios with the best early pressure coming out from Fenrir. So I think it's going to come down to, does Snipe feed early, or can they get to the late game?
Very, very true. And to be fair, that's generally Snipe's that's usually what we see with Snipe.
Fair point.
Snipe generally plays very aggressive, and sometimes they feed, but sometimes they get up by 10,000 gold, and it's sort of what they do. I have to say, though, Xing on Mercury is something that's very, very, very scary, but I'm very curious about the Devios on Fenrir. Devios is somebody that we generally associate with warriors. We talk a lot about Hercules. I actually think Devios looks like Chalk in real life. So playing the Fenrir solo is interesting. It's interesting, because Fenrir solo is just interesting by itself, but who is playing the Fenrir solo is curious to me. And
Not to mention, they picked it, and then Nuwa got picked, right? Or was it, did he pick it into Nuwa? I forget the pick order.
Fenrir picked before Nuwa.
Nuwa, okay. So the Nuwa also has kind of a counter here, given the fact that she can just activate Fog, and Brutalize just stops dead.
Yeah, Fog stops Brutalize dead, and Clay Minions gives her passive physical protection.
That's right. So she has a pretty good matchup here. It's going to be up to Devios to apply early pressure, or she is just going to run all over him.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get things going early, because one of the things that Nuwa suffers from, we call her a pusher. If we had a pusher category in Smite, she would be the lone pusher. The Fenrir can't really do that. But Nuwa's problem is early game she doesn't have clear. So if Devios can get ahead early before Kiki really gets the push activated, so to speak, then we have a good situation for Fenrir. Otherwise, it's just going to be an uphill battle, and I wouldn't expect this solo lane tower to last long at all. And right now they're going to go in. They got a good stun, but that's about it.
Look at the bait, though. Devios didn't use the Brutalize there because of the fog. Forced the fog out anyway. Granted, it's not going to hurt him too much, but now that that's on cooldown, it's going to allow Devios a little bit more pressure. Now, Xing is going to be forced to stick around here because Dagars will not leave this lane just yet, which means they still have opportunity. Now, remember, fog might be on cooldown, but it can still be stopped by special delivery.
Very, very true. And I actually just want to correct myself. Nuwa came first, and then Fenrir was picked into it.
So they picked Fenrir into Nua.
That is honestly,
Curious.
I'm just gonna call that a picking mistake, unless Divios is extremely competent on Fenrir, and we just don't know.
Yeah,
That's
maybe he
definitely
knows something that we don't, and as the game goes on, I'm sure we're going to find out. But we're going to go back here and talk a little bit more while we have a lull about Kumbhakarna. Nope, right side, they're going in. Nope, back to Kumbhakarna. So far, we haven't seen much come out from Incon. The whole point of Athena is that you have that big push, and they're not using it.
Yeah, they're playing it safe, and I generally don't question what Incon does.
Right.
Incon does a lot of weird things, honestly, DM. Incon does a lot of weird things where you start to question it, and then it just sort of works out. I'm going to question this one. I think I would like to see a lot more push. Something that Artemis and Kumba have problems with early is push.
This 4-man rotation coming out from Cog Red. What are they going for? The 2-minute 40-second Gold Fury? You know I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
They were going for the double kill in dual lane, but unfortunately Snipe smelled it out. They are extremely well warded, both above and below the Gold Fury, so they knew exactly what was coming. They backed off, and Boosh missed out on a lot of farm because of it.
Not to mention, Jerby capitalized huge by sharing the gold experience from both Speed and Small Camp on the left side, making use of that Bumba's mask as well. That's a pretty big win right there for Snipe, given the fact that though they're even in gold right now, the experience difference still has a slight lead right now for Snipe.
Yeah. So
how
it's
is
going to go
Kiki
that way.
getting shoved out by Fenrir?
You know, I've been seeing a lot of. It hasn't been brutalized. Divios is either ranking up his 2 for maximum or the jump. He's not leveling up brutalizer right now. He's actually going to freeze Nuwa out of the lane. He's not going for the early push. Oh, there we go.
I guess
It's
he's going to take a trip back or something. Yeah,
it's
there
the jump.
goes.
He's leveling the jump, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, Unchained does a lot of damage, and again, don't quote me, I'm pretty sure it's about 330 at max rank, on top of the fact that the cooldown gets reduced by half if you actually hit an enemy player, ensuring that you can do a pretty ridiculous amount of damage. Now, you see him going into the Anchile, which ensures that he's going to have a pretty serious amount of damage, on top of the fact that his CDR is going to wind up capping out once Jotuns is done.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's a really interesting thing. You know, we talked about how Thog stops to brutalize, but watching the Divios is leveling up that jump, that's going to change things drastically. I still think he's on the losing side of this lane, but if he plays it smart, he can stalemate it at the very least and do rather well. So, and the pickup of Ankyle, as we talked about before, entertaining the fact of Chalk mid when 5 AM was picking, it's going to do the same exact thing for Fenrir in the solo lane.
So now we're going to see a rotation over from Nemesis. This could be big. Double ult coming through. Shing a little bit late to the party and misses the opportunity, but Divios backing off here. He's going to be stopped out. Shing trying to make something happen. Here comes Incon as well, but they drop it. 4 people right now in the right lane trying to chase down 2, and they've already earned a kill.
Yeah, that was good. Unfortunately, Jerby did miss an ult, exclamation point, insult, but they pushed them out of lane, which is a big deal, DM. Fenrir, if he was winning the lane, definitely isn't anymore. So that's going to be good. That's going to be a really good play for Snipe right there.
That's definitely a big win, in my opinion, though, for COG, as they do manage to get the gold lead back. That's going to be first blood, and we're going to see a trip back for Kiki. He's having some trouble here, I think, more than he thought. They need to, I think, kind of hover around a little bit more. Kiki really didn't have the opportunity, but you were right here. He did pick up the teleport. I'm just very surprised to see it actually go down against the Fenrir.
Yeah, the teleport is going to be a big deal. Right now, Nuwa's actually losing this lane. Down about 400 gold in lane. Divios is playing it right. You know, this is what we talked about. Actually, he's going to get caught out. Here comes Shing, tossing him, but the good jump gets him out of the box. A little brutalized to help him move, and that's going to be safe. But here comes Gar's DM, sort of jumping into a bunch of nothing. And because it was 1v3, Snipe really knew that somebody was coming, and they backed off, despite the fact that it was that they could have turned on Nemesis. They knew that they would have to pay for it.
What I love here is the rotation coming out from Divios, or rather Ionic. He sends the creeps into the tower, earns himself some free experience, and now they have mid-camp contention on the right side as well, ensuring that they're guaranteeing themselves at least 1. Now, this is very smart overall, and it's going to increase their lead wave to wave by what looks to be about 800 gold.
Yeah, that's that's nothing to slouch at, folks. 800 gold is something to start thinking about. Gar's going to get a little aggressive, and Shing, recognizing that the support is there, had to back out using special delivery defensively. He's going to opt for these back camps.
I love the way that Devios is playing this, though. You're taking a look at the build right now. He has 990 gold in hand, which means he does have the money to finish the item to ensure that he can start getting those stacks up as soon as possible. Once this wave is cleared, he's jumping in. Unchained doing a massive amount of damage, but once again, the Fog's going to stop the Brutalize, or rather stop the attempt of Brutalize, and Devios is going to back and finish a very important item.
And then Ocula is going to be important. That is tenement to how this lane is going to go. Fully stacked, that item is going to give him about 30 damage, but more importantly, it's the passive magical protection, 50 magical protection on it. 30 physical power, and CDR just, it's going to make Fenrir so powerful against this character that Kiki Star is playing right now, and this is where the lane matchup is going to change. And already Divio sitting at 4,200 and Kiki at 39. The 300 gold I would expect to extrapolate very soon.
Oh my god, the instantaneous clear of those creeps on the bottom side. Devios, his level 9 right now is only matched by a few people on the enemy team, including Kiki, but Kiki doesn't really have the same amount of control as Devios does, especially not in team fights. We don't really see Nua come online in team fights until much later into the game, whereas the opposite for Fenrir, whereas he comes on very early and gets a little bit weaker as the game goes on.
Yeah, it's very true. Fenrir can be played a couple of different ways to sort of prevent that weakening state. We see Wolfie build full power on Fenrir rather than go Bruiser, and that keeps him relevant. Zindern over in Europe likes to build crit on Fenrir. So if you weave in those basic attacks, it can keep him relevant. With the Oculi start, we'll see how this build develops, and we'll keep an eye on it to see how it works out. But here comes Shing, special delivery, throwing him backwards. Divios in a little bit of trouble, having to use Ragnarok to get out. Good hit from the wall.
Look at the
they
cancel.
Keep going.
Oh, man, that was a beautiful cancel. It's actually going to wind up trading a 1-for-1, but there's a 4-man rotation here. Gar's just trying to get out. Jervy misses the ultimate and up into the air. We see Kiki go, taking a lot of damage. I don't know how they turned that into a 2-for-1, but we need to highlight the fact that he canceled Ragnarok once Unchained was back off cooldown to increase his overall length, not only dodging the damage from the ultimate from Kiki, but he also dodged the sonic boom from Shing, giving his team enough time to rotate, and I am tickled.
It was a beautiful play. I mean, we heard DM talk about the cancel as soon as it happened, and you know that's so important to know that abilities that have channels, whether it's Ragnarok or Berserker's Barrage, you can cancel them early. And it doesn't always have to be because you were wiping Dorito dust off of your left click finger, your right click finger. You can actually do it on purpose. That's exactly what we saw with Divio. So good play right there. And actually Snipe is going to go ahead and try and steal a Gold Fury, but Snoopy is not going to let this go without a fight.
Now, Incon does have hand 3. Snoopy not really making a big play here. 2 hands are going to be used, and they're going to get that one for free, increase themselves back up into the lead, where you're going to see a 600 gold difference now in favor of Snipe, despite being down 2 kills. Great rotation and presence of mind coming out from Snipe to maintain, or rather, regain the lead.
Right now, Snoopy with Boar down. You know, he used the ultimate on the Gold Fury almost to no avail. Right now, Allied having to bees out of the slow. He is Ull, so he does have that jump, but a single crit coming out from Snoopy. That's going to get it, and Snoopy gets the double kill onto the support. Great play in the dual lane coming out from Cognitive Red. Snoopy picks up the double.
So now, there is a lead right now still for Snipe, but you can look at the rotation. They're all chasing this Fenrir again, and it hasn't been working out. They need to use their abilities to clear this tower. That's it. Devios knows it. He's backing off. That'll be a 500 swing. Left side, we're probably going to see the same thing here. Nemesis is still in the neighborhood as you see Snoopy activate Vengeful Assault and begin his pressure.
Yeah, I like the play coming out from Snipe. They understand that their dual lane just got broken. Their dual lane just got double killed, and they might be able to take the tower, so they're just going to force the right side of the map completely, and they're still going. Athena ulted. You now have 4 members of Snipe on this right-hand side. You do have a Nua. She's in snake form. The tower is already dead. And Solo Lane is demolished already. 11 minutes into the game.
Oh,
The
but
guard's
Mace!
going to take down
Not Mace,
Incon.
MLC finds a huge ult right there as well. Now they're trying to find something here. We do have a trade-off. Incon for Devios. They're even level right now, which is kind of crazy considering that's a support. But they're trying to answer on the bottom side. Snoopy trying to just take down Allied, who's having a hard time dealing with Artemis, but he is under the safety of his own tower. Without that creep wave, there really isn't much they can do, especially with the rotation from Xing being very close. You got to give this one to Kiki. He had an early deficit, but he's making it work.
100%, but it's all about teamwork here, Brandon, as we see Dagars get off of the tower right now. The box is going to get dropped down a little defensively. Ionic throws Xing in the air, lands, gets the root, and one hit. Dagars almost made it out, but Jerby dropped the heal down, and can't really miss that heal. Way too big.
They're trying to pressure this mid lane. Devios has come back. Yon gonna be wasted there. Curious as we see a Hand of the Gods go down onto what seems to be clay minions.
It is just going to be clay minions. Here we see Allied taking out some wards away from the Gold Fury and just going to opt back. Both teams are going to play a little passive as mid camps are going to spawn only 12.5 minutes into this game, folks. Snipe is leading with 32,000 to 31,000 golds, but Cognitive Red has 7 kills to Snipe's 3. The difference? Solo Lane doesn't exist anymore for Cognitive.
That's right. Not only did they get that, but they got the Gold Fury. They have multiple map steals. I mean, right there, they got both mid camps, which is a really big swing for them. And Snipe needs to keep this going. They're still not even in that Gold Fury range of gold that they should have earned, and they're 3,500 gold worth, or actually 3,000 gold worth of experience up. They just need to make more happen off of it.
Yeah, they need to find some way to stick their foot into that foothold and climb up. Right now, Divios very deep considering he has no towers. He's got a ward or two, so he should be generally safe. He's actually going to back right now. I think he feels that he's a little unsafe despite the fact that he's got vision. So, what does Divios actually do right now? He's 13.5 minutes into the game, DM, and his lane has no safe spot.
That's true. I mean, there's nowhere for him to actually farm it. If he gets over aggressive and Kiki counterplays, it's just going to be a kill. On top of the fact that he really doesn't have a lot of sustainability outside of Seething Hell. If she sees him activate, she can stun him, really go for more counterplays. What we need to see is
Left
just more
side.
Oh, the double, almost global ultimate rotation. They're using Athena Mercury to do Sonic Boom into Defender of Olympus to just completely shut down. Now, 4-man rotation. This one's going to be up to Bush here. He's looking for a good shot. Not really much found. And Xing will be able to escape as they do lose the Ionic.
Yeah, that ultimate didn't hit anybody. The Bush still getting pressured, but right now Allied's got all eyes on the tower, as he should. But he just changed his face with the long-range hail of arrows. Uller is a great hunter, and next to Zatman, Allied's Ull is untouchable.
Well, we talk about Artemis, it's all about crit and attack speed. You talk about Apollo, it's split push and, the ability to really make yourself a presence with protections. You talk about Neath, it's that, global presence, staying in lane, being able to farm, and, of course, control with CC. But you talk about Uller, and it's the inability to escape from him once he has marked you as a target. He has a movement speed, he has a jump, and 2 of the farthest reaching normal abilities in the game. And that's what Allied does with it. He uses them properly. He stays at max range, using the hail of arrows as more pressure once they've left. But Dagars has put himself in a very bad situation. Will be CC chained as Devios jumps in. I don't know how this one's going to turn out for the boys on Snipe.
Divios throws somebody in the air. Incon it was, so he's going to be the support. Just take it out. Right now, he's all by himself in Divios' mouth, but he's level 13, and he is a little tanky. He's got that steel mail. He is most likely going to die right here, but he wasted a lot of the enemy's time, and that's going to be a big deal. It allowed his entire team to get out. Well, just Allied.
So you see the rotation here. You're Cog Red. You just saw the Gold Fury go down. You picked off their hand 3. This, to me, is the Fire Giant attempt. I don't really like them pushing here, especially considering they're going to face down 2 people who are not going to let them into this tower very easily. You can see it's already been cleared, though Boosh does get some damage off onto both Allied and Kiki with the tornadoes. I think that's a wasted opportunity. That could have been the Fire Giant.
It really could have been the Fire Giant. I think that what they wanted to do is they wanted to strip this middle lane just like Snipe had stripped their solo lane. And I agree with you. I think the Fire Giant might have been a better call, but maybe the Hog was down. Maybe they just didn't. There's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of conversation that could be had. And now they're going to start on the Fire Giant. And That's okay. They're just clearing some wards. I was going to say everybody's up from Snipe. This is a curious situation, but good for them. They backed off just a little bit, and Allied just going to counter ward.
So Snoopy and Devios, actually, sorry, Devios has just came back up, but Snoopy's ult is still down, which means they have a small, and I mean very small, deficit if they choose to team fight. Though Snoopy is not even on the contention side of the map. He's just pushing, and it looks like it will deter Allied, as he actually, no, Allied is rotating back over towards the right side. Go for this?
Yeah, they're going to go for it. They have a lot of people over here. It looked like they were going to push Devios out, but he's already pushed out with just a single player. Cogred saw it. If Cogred didn't see it, I think they would have tried to sneak a DM, and that would have been a nice play. Snipe has done that with Gold Fury in the past.
That's, I mean, we saw them just do it before.
They just trick you, and that's definitely something in Snipe's playbook. The ability to just show up on the right wards to go someplace where you... What they'll do is, you see the Snipe do this a lot. They'll counter ward what they really want, and then they'll send a single person to go walk past the wards that they know are up. So it looks like they're on the entire wrong side of the map. With the rotation, they come steal an objective. It's not what happened right now, but it's something that Snipe is capable of, and you always got to remember that when you're playing against them. You got to be aware of the sneak situation.
So it looks like blue buff going to be picked up by Kiki on the left side. Still 2 towers remain right now for Cog Red. Snipe has 3 towers remaining, though 2 of them are tier 2s. And take a look at the board. 4,200 gold lead, 4,200 experience for the boys on Snipe. And the only really major contention point right now is that Fire Giant, though you do see Incontinentia looking for an opportunity to either go for a steal or for a kill. I don't really like his positioning here. Whether he knows it or not, he is starting to get pressured, and there's a good possibility that he could get sandwiched here, and if he gets picked off, it's going to be dangerous.
I like how Incon, and this is something that you guys can take home to your own games, Incontinentia has spent, as soon as the 15-14 minute mark hit, he hasn't been on the left side of the map at all. He's completely near the Fire Giant 100% of the time because he knows that COG can take it whenever they want, and he needs to be there to prevent that from happening. So he stays local, he stays near the Fire Giant so that he's always relevant. Athena ult is global, but if you have nobody there to ult, you just can't get over there in time. So good positioning, poor positioning before when he's pushed up, but good in general positioning, staying on the correct side of the map.
So we have another sentry getting dropped here, but there are 2 sentries in the inventory of Cog Red to counter the one that Allied has, and Allied doesn't really have the line of sight. Actually, no, he will be able to get in there in just a second, though it doesn't look like he's going for it. How strange. Looks like he's going to try to contest Snoopy with Incontinentia's help. Snoopy is going to see this and possibly back off. He's actually moving pretty far forward here. I don't know how I like this positioning.
Devios is going to jump on Kiki in the middle lane. They really wanted this mid-tower DM, and with that amount of minions, I think it might just... No, a tornado. And right now, Shing's getting pressured. Good ultimate from Incon, giving him a lot of help. Here he is. Now it's a team fight. Devios going to pick up the support, or Allied, rather, gets beads out, and now Incon is surrounded by members of Cog Red. But as he is the tank, it's not going to be that big a deal, and we're going to see a good, solid disengage, waiting for some opportunity to go strike.
I think really Snipe got the better end of that. They used some ultimates, sure. In fact, they're 1 down, but they took off way more damage and forced out way more abilities overall. Now you're going to see Kiki move in here. It looks like he's guaranteed. Yeah, it looks like just the AoE damage from the flame. He's going to be able to pick up that tower as he does get a shot onto Boosh. They're going to try to rotate here, and the Fire Giant is getting pressured by the boys on Snipe. Eonix looking for his line in, but he hasn't been able to find it just yet.
They're going to retreat away from Fire Giant. That lava is still ticking, though. Eonix so
God.
low. The ultimate coming out from the dragon. Gar's going to pick up Incon. That's a hog 3. Now Cognitive Red is looking to make this go on. Shing walking through the tornado, punching people down. But Snoopy's going to get the kill from long range while Jerby takes down Eonic. It's 3-on-4 right now, and Snipe lagging behind.
Gars does find the kill onto Kiki, who locked himself in the blue room. Boosh and Snoopy both very close to but Gars has a line here, but Jerby finally lands a big shot. Devios jumps in, kills Allied with the jump without landing himself in the heal. Jerby's trying to make something happen. Devios putting himself in a bad spot here. He cancels it. He gets the second jump. That's the second time we've done that. But again, Jerby finds the kill. He's inside the heal now. He hits the ult for the first time this game, and the Boosh is trying to run away. Jerby, the god, finds his voice with that triple, cleans it up, and saves the day.
And that will shut the bleachers up. Jerby gets a lot of flack these days, but every once in a while he pulls out plays like that. That is why he's employed on a professional team. That wasn't just hitting his stuff. He played that well. He deked. He danced around in the heel, which is always hilarious. You think you're going to box a Ra. It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And shouts to Incon. The maybe ult. You always got to go for the maybe ult.
I'm just so smitten with the way that Jerby just played that. He has missed almost every single ability that we've seen him throw this game. Every ult has been wasted.
Every single one.
You know, it's funny because at the beginning you said, we finally have an initiation, and I thought you were referencing the fact that Jerby missed his ult. And then Jerby lands 4 Celestial Beams in a row, hits the Divine Light, hits the heal, saves one of his teammates for long enough to create the situation, hits his ult, hits another Celestial Beam, cleans up 3 people, gets Athena into the back line. Like, that was brilliant.
It really was. Great team play coming out and great individual performance. And, you know, that's one of the cool aspects of our game right here is the fact that it's very much a team game. But once in a while, you can just, no pun intended, you can just shine.
So now, 22 minutes deep. Fire Giant still available. Gold Fury is down. That's going to bring Snipe up to 62, almost 6,300 gold on top of 7,200 experience, wave to wave even, which means they have the opportunity here to really pressure, and they should use that. Jerby's level 20 right now. Allied level 19. Shing level 17. That's a level 4 ult as well. Kiki's almost level 20. And then Incon's big. Now they're going in here. Shing has taken a lot of damage. You're going to see Gars miss the dash, but Shing has taken too much, and the Brutalize with Ionic's help is going to finish up. Now you're going to see him land here. He's going to get picked up, dragged right into the ult. Allied is just getting comboed, trying to find a way over the wall. Will he escape into Gars, though? And he will get picked off. That's 2 people down right now for the boys on Snipe.
Cognitive still pushing this. They're on top of Jerby, but with the protections provided by Athena and the threat of the damage, the half HP Cog Red is going to disengage right here. That ult would have secured a triple kill. Undoubtedly. So good choice by Cog Red to play it safe.
Incon taking some damage from the tornadoes as the Chunk himself separates himself to the wrong side of the map. He's actually going to go for the split push here, as we've seen him do so many times. As Jerby gets aggressed, we're going to see Gars looking for the kill opportunity, but the tornado will be wasted. Jerby going to get an ult, but he's going to get it sent right back into his own health pool as he hits the Retribution Shield. Now Jerby's going to force the heal up, as this is in contention, but boys on Cog Red are backing.
Ionic is backing as well. That's going to be the Hog 3. The only other Hog, Gars has actually opted for a Fist of the Gods, which I guess isn't so bad on a Nemesis. And right now, Divios is going to get deleted. Great taunt coming out from Incon, and actually got the last hit. So that's going to be a kill for Incon. His first of the game. 24
I think
minutes.
even without the help of Incon and Shing, Divios was going to lose that fight. You
Yeah.
don't box Nua at this stage of the game. It's just not going to work out, especially as Fenrir. Now, sure, Fenrir has Seething Howl. You can heal. You get some damage. Sure. All that good stuff. But consider the fact that she can stop your Brutalize. Consider the fact that she can slow you repeatedly. Consider the fact that she's faster movement speed-wise than you, on top of the fact that her damage can actually double once she's in snake form. It's just not a wise decision.
She's got a second way to stop your Brutalize with the stun. She also has protections against your type of damage. It's just not a good fight.
Jeez, I thought I hit all the points, too. My God!
There's still more. We've got another slideshow in the back. But right now we're going to see Cog again. Ionic is doing what I talked about Incon doing before. He's just staying on the Fire Giant side of the map. He understands that you have to be local. Otherwise, you can get stolen like that. There's only one Hog 3 on his team. Divios does not have Hog 3 just yet, or Wrath of the Gods, if you will. So he has to stay here. There might be opportunities elsewhere, but the second he goes into the left-hand lane, Snipe can just steal it.
So I do want to, however, talk about the Divios build here, and this is something that I absolutely love. You have the Enchile, right, for some CDR, some protections. You have the boots for some movement speed, some damage, and, of course, that penetration. You go into chin size. Now, this does a lot here, because you're gaining physical damage, but you're also gaining attack speed, which works so well with Seething Howl, which gives you 70 damage. That's without runes, F dot. If you have runes, 105. That 50% extra is so big. So and that you're going into Smithy's Hammer now, which is going to go into Runeforge. That's going to be absolutely massive. It's going to make him very close to unkillable with how much sustain he's going to have. Once that's online, he's going to be hard pressed to find a person who can outbox him.
Yeah, and then after that, we're going to see him. I'd like to see him build into crit, and then Fenrir just becomes an absolute monster.
Oh, Gars.
Speaking of monster, here comes the dragon raining down on the Snipe.
Not doing enough damage, though. Boosh could be in some trouble. Epic uppercut could land them back in the tornado. Shing is out of here. Now they're going to be looking towards Incontinentia. Low health right now. In the backside, Allied's getting turned on. Getting a lot of damage taken. They're going for the opportunity. Allied jumps over the wall, but Gars was ready for it. Finds the opportunity, gets the shot. Now Jerby will trade out the ADCs there to ensure they have an opportunity, but that's still 2 for 1.
Kiki teleported into the Fire Giant. Here she comes, getting a lot of hits on the Ionic, trying to get that Hog 3 down. Chasing with the Athena ult. This is a dead Kuumba. There he is on his feet, or on his back, rather, not coming up to his feet. They're going to get the basics onto him. Gars showed up for some reason to try to make something happen. Shield is not going to be enough. The double dash actually just might be. But there's the preemptive strike. One more hit with the shield wall. There it is. And is Kiki going to get out?
Reapers. And look at the right side the whole time. Kiki has had the opportunity to get this continued push. I mean, right now we're going to have to see a rotation. With the Jerb heal from Ra, this could be an opportunity for them to take this for free. Look at the positioning of the ult, repeatedly ticking onto the Fire Giant. Extra damage coming out from the Clay minions. Double damage coming out from the auto attacks on top of the fact that they still have a tank going for it. Kiki unsure of where he wants to go, in or out of the lava, but they find it. And 17-18 right now, despite the fact that they're down in kills, they're up 8,400 gold and the Fire Giant.
And that's the type of stuff, DM, that we talk about, how it's not always the kills. You know, I always look towards gold as my go-to quick look at the screen, look away, who's winning. I always look towards gold, not kills. Kills tell the story of the game, while gold tells you the score. And right now we're sitting 28 minutes in. Cognitive Red is trailing by about an even 10,000, just 9,800, just underneath. Snipe with 69 and Cognitive with 60,000 gold as we speak. We're in our first semifinals match of the game. We're going to go ahead and watch the second one right just after this. We are missing Dignitas. Team Dignitas is in Texas right now with Rooster Teeth Expo, playing some show matches and just enjoying the con. We actually have Critosaurus there as well. So two teams that we normally
I thought it was a tournament. Or are you saying it's a show match because it's Dig versus not the rest of NA?
You called me out.
Critosaurus does have a small chance, and of course any man can beat any other man on anything on any given day, sure, but it's definitely not in their favor.
I actually think Critosaurus is one of my favored teams going in. I think they have a lot of raw skill, and we'll see how that works out as they progress. And I think this was a good opportunity for them. So those are the two teams that aren't here and why they're not here. But right now, it's Snipe versus Cognitive Red, as we talked about, and Snipe is driving this bus very fast.
That's right. All the tier 2s are down. They got a Phoenix in the right side as they start to pressure left. Allied in the mid, just trying to show Gars some of what Uller can do, and Gars will take some damage and waste his retribution, which without a major amount of CDR, which he is lacking, is going to be on cooldown for a very long time. Now Shing is trying to work his way towards the Phoenix here. We're going to get a double yawn. He'll be blinked out and ensure that he doesn't have the opportunity to continue that pressure, but at the same time, the damage has been done here, and you can see the health bars start to tick lower and lower, especially on Snoopy and Ionic, who are now in contention for what could be instantaneous death.
We're going to get some good defense coming out from Cognitive Red right here. You know, Kiki Star isn't here, or Kiki the Chunk isn't here in mid lane. That would really be the push, and here she is, along with a wave of natural minions and unnatural minions. Cog Red's going to aggress. Ionic's already low, can't even control the match from back. Shane's going to look for his 7th death, but that's going to put a number of people in the wrong place, and Jerby's going to make them pay.
Well, Kiki actually does go down in the mid lane. That's going to be a 2-for-1 so far. Only Devios has dropped until, of course, the Gars gets picked up by being a little bit too far out of position. Now, Boosh will be able to heal up. Snoopy, though, is sitting in the mid lane trying to play defense. I don't know how much I like this, considering the fact that they have enough pressure with that Fire Giant to just blow him right up.
Gonna get a good yawn onto Allied, and Incon's just gonna push Snoopy out of here. That's a great play. He's just zoning. He's not looking for the kill. They want to get this Phoenix. Phoenix is already down to about no health. That's gonna be the second Phoenix of the game. Secretly, they got the right-hand Phoenix because they have a new So that's gonna be 2 Phoenixes on the side of Snipe and Shing and friends. Great plays overall. And a half hour to this game, folks. Snipe is definitely in the 5-figure category, 11,500 gold in the lead. And so Here's an interesting fact. In the entirety of the SWC and the Path to Smite launch, we have never seen a team come back from 2 Phoenixes down.
Really?
Never once.
Well, the Smite launch tournament, we saw someone come back with 3 Phoenixes down.
Yes, in the launch tournament. The Path to launch and the SWC, we've never seen that happen.
Interesting. So I guess the odds are immensely stacked against Cog Red, which has to make them nervous because remember, guys, they are current 4th seed overall, the 3rd seed coming in today because of Dignitas's being in Texas. But remember, if 5 Angry Men can beat Cognitive, if Cog Red loses, that's going to make next week an absolute nail-biter. So this is really going to come down to Cog Red needs to win this game, or their opponents on the other side of the bracket need to lose to their sister team, Cognitive Gaming, or they're going to start sweating.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. This right here, this semifinals match, is one of the more important matches in our entire North American SWC, Brandon. The implications of this one single match, you have seed implications as far as who they're going to play, as you just highlighted. You have standing implications. Cognitive Red can catapult ahead. Cog Red and Sniper very closely matched as far as seed points are concerned. So it's going to be a really big deal if Cog Red, specify Cognitive Red, can take this out over, because as we said, Snipe has 350 and Cognitive Red has 240 seed points. So if Cog beats out Snipe over here, that would essentially kick Snipe
big crits coming out.
Yes.
Garza is gone just by a quick major look. 2 shots after the special delivery was missed. Shing is going to erase Gars from the map, and that's going to give Snipe pressure to 4v4 in the mid as Kiki goes up and tries to pressure out. They don't have enough damage to really do with this. Now Incon's in there. Snoopy taking way too much damage as Shing gets in the back line. He's taunted. Major look actually misses as a result, and Shing gets replaced directly into a Phoenix. They do play a little bit of defense, but there's still a lot missing from the map.
Yeah, they're just picking off Shing here in this case, and they're leaving their Phoenixes. That's going to be the Phoenix. That's going to be the second time the Phoenix is killed. So of course, remember, after the first time the Phoenix respawns, it's at half power and half HP. That's why you saw it melt so quickly. It wasn't just the power of Nuwa. More importantly, the Titan is at half HP already. Ionic got a great yawn out. This is going to be a good fight. If Cog Red wins this, they could look at the Fire Giant, and Allied is already having forced out here. Incon also pretty low, but they're turning on Divios, hopping over the wall though. That wolf is safe.
Yeah, Divios didn't really have good pressure here. Incon, though, has a great line. Snoopy going to take some serious poke from German Incon as he does take both hits of Shield Wall. Raw ult actually gonna hit. Ionic takes a nap in the middle of the jungle, which will not work out for him. He goes down as well. That's going to be a pretty big swing as both Snoopy and Ionic are gone, which leaves their last lines of defense to the damage dealers. And with how Incon has been playing, maybe they're showing the weakness in Kumbakarna.
Incon's up, the ult is up, so there it is. He's going to ult directly onto Allied. We talked before about how we saw Pain Devion use the ult as a teleport. That's exactly what we're going to see here. Incon teleporting onto the Fire Giant, also providing some damage. Snipe has the Fire Giant. Snipe has a 14,000 gold lead. Snipe has 2 Phoenixes down, Brandon. Snipe is going to look for the victory.
That's right. They can really just push in here right now with Kiki's minions and look for the opportunity. Poor guys on Cog Red just see their Phoenix respawn, but it's not going to be there for long.
Yeah, it's already down to about 10% HP. This is a bad fight, but they have to do it. Boosh has turned it around, though. Now it's 4v5. Snoopy's about to be up. Jerb getting dragged into the tornado. That's going to provide a lot of damage onto him, but with a heal, he should be okay. Phoenix is under attack. Phoenix has died, and now Iana's trying to aggress, but Snipe is backing off.
I just saw the Fenrir ult pick somebody up and drag them towards the Nua ult. For a second, I forgot they were on different teams. I thought we were going to see the shake and bake.
Shake and bake. That was a lot of fun. Of course, what Brandon's referencing is you can still do it, but it's since been nerfed. When Nua first came out, folks, you were able to Ragnarok a character and just move your mouse from left to right and slap the person with the electric fence over and over and over.
You shake them you shake the Fenrir and you bake them in the ultimate. You shake them and you bake them.
They've nerfed it a little bit in the sense that it
won't apply as
time
quickly.
Limitation.
Yeah,
it's a time limitation. So, but it still does a lot of damage and it's still fun to watch. Snipe secretly took a Gold Fury.
Yeah, they earned a little bit more gold right there. It's gonna put them up to 14,000. Not really something they needed, but they were regrouping,
more of a defensive
so why
Gold
not?
Fury. That's more of a defensive gold for you. That sounds strange to hear defensive move when they're 15,000 gold in the lead, but basically you take it off the map so the other team can't pick it up. That's
Right.
exactly what Snipe was looking for. Everybody is full build. The entire Snipe team is full build. So.
Pretty damn close. Kiki actually just finished his Polynomicon Allied, looking to finish. Is that
Winged
Wing
Wand.
Blade?
Yeah,
Going
Winged
Wing Blade?
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
gonna. That's slow immunity. That's extra movement
the
speed.
slow
That's
immunity.
cooldown reduction. A little bit of attack speed. That's. I like it.
I absolutely love this pickup, and I'll tell you why. The 6-slot item for hunters is hard and fast Titan's Bane. You don't really
Right.
need the tower damage because you have Nuwa, so you get the Winged Blade, which will counter Boosh, Snoopy, Gars, not Divios, but Ionic. Everybody but the Fenrir gives you a slow. He gets out of there. It's a fantastic pickup, and right now we'll see what it could do in this
Well, it's
fight.
not only slow immunity. It's if you get slowed, you actually speed up instead.
Yeah.
What kind of nonsense is that? All right, Blinken, 3-man yawn. They're going to go for it. Incon finds a 2-man taunt as well. Dagar's forced to use his shield there, which answers a little bit of damage to Jerby, but not nearly enough to not make it worth it. Mid lane, Phoenix is down. Right lane, the Phoenix is getting pressured. Devios forced to ult out as we see the Incon ult try to go for it. Not what he's looking for as Snoopy finds himself in the bad spot, but the Boosh answers immediately back with another brilliant ult.
Allied, meanwhile, picks up the left-hand Phoenix. That's going to make this Titan very, very squishy, but first they have to survive. Divios gets picked up with the help of Jerby. Great play coming out from Allied, and that is a dead Titan. 37.5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. A single kill for Snipe above Cognitive Red's 23. They do take the victory for the semifinals. Absolute fantastic. And
So-
let's take a look at one of the more exciting plays this game.
This play, I think, entire turnaround. And I don't think we're ever going to wind up saying this again, is all about Gerbcraft. This guy, shot after shot, save after save. Jerby just shows. Jerb is going to show here what makes Raw so powerful. Now, he went 9-1 and 10 here. 19,200 gold, one of the highest numbers I've seen in a long time. And you look at his damage, 31,500. Not top. We're going to give that to Boosh because he landed like 750,000 ultimates. But man, did Jerb turn this game around for his team.
Yeah, Jerb did a lot of work. There was a period of time where Cognitive Red was looking like they were going to come back, and that's the kill. That's the kill we just looked at. We're finishing up right now. The triple kill coming out from Jerby, and great shot calling coming out from Snipe. Every single time. One of my old platitudes is the stuff after the stuff. Every single time they made a play, they looked for an objective, and that's not really characteristic of Snipe. And I'm really happy to see them pick it up. So.
Well, Snipe is going to move on to finals, whereas Cog Red are going to move down to the quote-unquote losers bracket, where we're going to see them face off for third place. We're going to check in with Cognitive Gaming going up against 5 Angry Men. Now, 2 things to consider. One, Cog, #1 seed coming into this, are favored over 5 Angry Men. But if 5 Angry Men can win here, it'll mean a lot for their seed points, especially over Cog Red. Now, if Cog can take this, that means 5 Angry Men will go down to the loser side, where 5 Angry Men are still trying to fight for that contention of seed points. Either way, they're going to have to try to get themselves ahead of Cog Red in the next 2 weeks to be able to contend.
Yeah, this is a huge match for 5 Angry Men. I actually think this is this might be one of the biggest games that 5 Angry Men have ever played. We talked about how the Snipe vs Cog Red matchup is important. This next one is infinitely more so, and it's going to be tough because it is Cognitive Gaming, sometimes called King Cog. So we'll see if they can make it past the favorites with Wolfie. I'm just very excited. I can't even analyze this anymore, DM. Why don't we just cut to a break and get to the game as fast as possible? For Brandon, my name is F. Stay tuned. We'll keep you in the action.